Hi everyone, this is Royce Waxenfelter from Viking Wax Press. With me today, I've got Aaron Waxenfelter from Pro Football Retro and Kelly from CardBlitz. Hi guys, how's everybody
How's it
doing
going?
here?
Howdy. Good.
So today we're going to talk about, even though the show's football card guys, we're going to talk about a little more than just football cards. We're definitely going to talk football cards. We're also going to talk about an experience that we had together last week, or was it 2 weeks ago now? I think it
Two
was
weeks.
2 weeks ago. We were able to catch Kelly. He was on a family trip where he was going to go on a cruise up to Alaska, and in the meantime, he stopped by in Seattle and we all caught a Mariners game together. Aaron and I drove up from Portland. We met Kelly at the game, went to a Mariners game with him and his family. Got to meet one of our fellow podcasters in person, so that was pretty cool. So today's show is going to be about fathers and sons, and the really cool tie-in with that is while we were at the game, it was Ken Griffey Senior Day, so Ken Griffey Senior was there, and we also got a picture of the Ken Griffey Jr. statue that's out front of the stadium. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll let Kelly start with the whole fathers and son topics and let him show. We're going to show a couple different cards of fathers and son teams, and well, let me ask, do you guys want to see some of the pictures from the game first
I
of
mean,
Yeah,
of the
sure.
of the Mariners? Okay, let me share my screen and see what I can do as far as getting
While you're
some.
getting it up, I'll show these cards of Griffey Senior and Junior.
Okay,
So that's an 83 tops, I believe, of Senior, and this is a retro 87 look of Junior. But
cool.
both of them played a long time, 20 years-ish careers for each.
well, I was gonna say, we're all wearing the shirt, and this was the card to have
Oh,
for
nice.
me in the mid '90s was getting the
Oh,
actual card of the kids.
Nice.
So that, and then tying that in with this guy, Frank Thomas. I mean, they were just those are two of the hottest stars in the early '90s.
Yep.
the big hurt, right?
Yep.
Big hurt. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Hope it works here, and I'll show some pictures that we took. This is of the ballpark. These were our seats were right up the first baseline. It was perfect because there were a couple homers that barely went just on the field side of that yellow
Yeah, they
pole out
stayed
there.
fair and they were home runs.
Yep. So here's us before the game. They have a very cool baseball bat sculpture up in the stadium. And this is Aaron, me, and Kelly. Here's a Edgar Martinez statue that's out front. He was my older brother Grady's favorite player. And here's us in front of that same statue
With the shirt.
with the shirt. Yep. And then here's Kelly and Aaron and Kelly's son over there and me. And this is the Ken Griffey Jr. statue. And here's Ken Griffey Sr. on the big screen. And I think, oh, I also took a video.
Oh,
The sound didn't come out, but we opened a pack of cards during the game each, and it was fun. I got a nice Paul Skeens refractor. Here's my friend Brad. He joined us too. He was up there for the game. So I think that's about it on the pictures. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. It was a fun time, man.
Definitely. Good times for sure.
Yeah.
Well, y'all come down to Dallas. We'll have to do it at a Rangers game.
Yep.
yeah, that'd be fun.
I demand extra innings, though. We got to see extra innings.
You never know. Hey, but the Mariners won, and that made y'all's day, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
Rooting for the
Cool.
home team, right? So,
Yep.
you want me to kick things off with this whole like Father's Day episode and showing off some cards and a story?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, modern player playing up in Canada right now, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Cool.
And this here is a Topps 2025 Series 1 flagship, just base card. But again, for illustrative purposes and the father-son piece, he is the son of this big guy here.
Ooh, look at that card.
Yeah, these 97 studio cards, I mean, those were like the rage also in the late 90s.
Uh-huh.
Folks were trying to get them autographed. And so, yeah, those, nice 8 by 10, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Now, for both father and son, though, they both played in Canada. One's still playing, uh, but the name Guerrero, from Vlad is, that's a prestigious name in the hobby as well as in baseball itself.
Yeah.
And they both have played in the World Series, and maybe Vlad Jr. can go and get that ring. So together, though, let's see how many home runs. Maybe they can end up cracking the 700 club between the two of them, and we'll see about stolen bases and see where they end up.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Well, Aaron just went down the
Oh,
elevator. There he
sorry,
is.
I dropped a card.
Back up the elevator.
You're
All
showing
right.
off the
Dropped one of my
start again.
cards. All right, so you want me to share my
Yeah.
first two?
Yep.
So my first two are also pretty historic, father and son, but mostly the father. I've got Frank Gore. This
Nice.
is a turkey red, Topps turkey red. I like these cards because they're like the retro look and kind of the pose and everything. This is a Frank Gore rookie, Topps turkey red. Um, Guy has 16,000 yards. I think he's a shoe-in for the Hall of Fame when he's eligible, and just a workman. He was in the league for a long time, but I don't hold that against him. I think that's a badge of honor. So playing the running back position for
Yeah.
over 15 years, props to him. And then his son, Frank Gore Jr., is currently on my Bills. They both played with Josh Allen. Frank
Yeah.
Gore was on the Bills in 2019, taking the ball from Josh Allen. They went to the playoffs that year. And then Frank Gore Jr. is now taking the ball from Josh Allen. He's on the practice squad mostly, but he does get called up if somebody gets hurt. Um, he's about 16,000 yards behind his dad in yards. But two very cool guys and a kind of cool tie-in that they are playing with some of the same players on the Bills.
Definitely, man. That is a very cool fact about that with the Josh Allen name thrown in there. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Now, where's he all-time Frank Gore Sr. as far as yards go? Isn't he
I
top
think
five?
he's second or third.
Yeah, I
I
know he's up
forget.
there. That's
16,000.
cool.
Emmett's first. Um,
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
he's ahead of Barry though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's second, like you
Yeah.
said. We'd have to
cool.
look it up. Or, viewers will fact check us and let us know too.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start with my guys, and I've got a retro card for my first guy too. So I'm doing Marvin Harrison, and this is I believe it's a 2001, and this look they did, it's called a classic rendition. So they basically put him in the old uniform and stuff of the like 50s, but it's a pretty cool throwback card. Got a Marvin Harrison Senior ended up with 8 Pro Bowls and 14,580 yards, which is pretty good for a receiver. His son now plays for the Cardinals. Let me get the right direction. So this is a rookie Stallions card of him, Panini 2024. He's played 2 years now, and he has 1,400 yards. So he's got a tenth of the yard as his father does. So I don't think he's going to quite catch him. He's just not in the same. Well, for one, Senior had Peyton Manning throwing him the ball, so there's a big difference right there. But I do like Marvin Harrison Jr. though, so that's my first set of father-son teams. So I'm going to
All
throw it
right.
back to Kelly now.
I'll take it, man. I've got something that's kind of unique for the whole lineage thing with fathers and sons. Now, we're going to go with a, a an up and comer. Well, actually, he's like 35 now, but his name's Mike Yastrzemski,
Ah, cool.
Yaz,
Yeah,
which is a royal name in MLB.
yeah,
And this here is a 2025 Topps Heritage card. Now, the thing that links him with his grandfather, Carl here,
nice. Yeah,
Mike hit a home run at Fenway Park. He had his debut up there, and then the next day, Carl, Grandpa, threw out the first pitch to Mike. So that's kind of really unique in baseball history there. And again, Carl Yaz, Triple Crown winner. He was a man who hit over 3,400 hits. He had like over 1,800 ribbies. I think he closed in about like 462 home runs, I think. So
yeah,
again, yes, Yastrzemski, not father and son, but father and grandson in the MLB. Now, Mike, Carl's son, Mike, he did play in the minors. He just never really made it in MLB.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, we love that. 76 Tops set was the first one we started collecting as far as baseball goes.
Oh,
So,
this one's a 77.
yeah, but I mean the throwback one, the
Oh,
76.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a 76 look.
Yes.
Definitely,
So
man. That
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 look is the first set. Well, I guess we maybe started with the 75s a
We
little
had a
bit, but
few, but that was the first we had a lot of.
yeah. Yeah, so that whole era, those throwback cards are cool. All right, Aaron, who do you got,
All
buddy?
right. So talking about favorite sets, I got some
Nice.
of Kelly's favorite here. This is the 78 tops. This is Sam Adams. He played for the Patriots before they were horrible and Belichick and Brady ruined them forever. Um, so this was he was a guard. He played for 10 years in the league, starter the whole time. He played on those Steve Grogan, Stanley Morgan, Grogan's heroes, they called him, Patriots. And, solid vet, solid guy. His son, Sam Adams Jr., much bigger dude. If you see, he kind of like fills out that uniform. And I chose this card because I just like the look of these Upper Deck XL cards. They just have a kind of a cool look, and it just shows you his girth. Like his helmet can barely fit on his head, and like he's just a big dude. He weighed like 350. He was just a clogger, but he was also very athletic. When he came to the Bills in 2003, his first game was against the Patriots, his dad's team. And during that game, he picked off Tom Brady and he ran it back for a touchdown. I have it here. It was a 27-yard interception return. No, 37-yard interception return on opening day in 2003, his first game as a Bill. They beat the Patriots 31 to zip.
Nice.
So that was one of, we would just always losing to the Patriots. And so this guy came, Lawyer Malloy came, a couple other guys came, and he had that play. And it was just highlight reel. And we were like so excited. Okay, we beat the Patriots. They don't own us anymore. And then, well, the rest of the season happened. And at the end of the year, the Patriots beat the Bills 31 to 0.
Oh,
So thus the
gosh.
hate for the Patriots kept going. But Sam Adams Jr., super great pro for a decade and super athletic, big guy.
Cool. So they both played about 10 years in the league.
Yep.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. For my closing trio or the of my groups of fathers and sons, grandfathers and grandsons, I'm going with a name that's very familiar in baseball
Oh, yeah.
lore. One, Bobby Bonds. The Bonds name itself, is I again between Bobby and Barry here, both pictured in their giant the MVPs, the number of home runs, all that. Barry's the one though of the groups that I've showed. Barry actually surpassed father. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if Vlad Jr. surpasses his father's accomplishments with a World Series ring or perhaps some home run titles. It'll be interesting to see what happens with those two or these three groups.
That's awesome.
All right. So I picked another Bills tie. I'm sorry, I'm Bills myopia here. This is Gil Bird. He's a defensive back. He played on the Chargers mainly in the 1990s. This is a 90 Fleer. I like these cards because they do kind of have a retro look, that
Mhm.
like silver football at the bottom, the helmet, and just like the little arch shape. Gil Bird ended up his career with 42 interceptions. So he was definitely a ball hawk, a guy who went for the ball, known for interceptions, had multiple seasons of like six, seven interceptions. And he eventually became a defensive backs coach for the Bills. It was later on after his son had played for the Bills, but he was a D backs coach in 2017 for the Bills. So his son, Jarris Bird, um, he shot on the scene really quickly. His rookie year, he led the league in interceptions with 9 picks. And he had come from the University of Oregon. So I was already a fan.
Yeah.
And then when he picks off 9 passes in his first year, I'm like, dude, we got a ball hawk here. So his dad kind of passed on that like go for the ball mentality that interceptions matter. And yeah, he was a three-time Pro Bowler with Buffalo. He ended up with 25 interceptions. So another cool tie where the father kind of passed on to the son, and my son is graduating from U of O on Monday. Um, so it kind of makes me kind of have another tie with the U of O with my son graduating from there.
That's awesome. Well, I will stick with you on the defensive backs because I've got Antoine Winfield. Now, the crazy thing is, let me see if I can share my screen again. I have 11,763 cards of football cards alone that I have logged into trading card database, but I don't have a single Antoine Winfield card, and I'm really embarrassed about that. So hopefully you can see Antoine Winfield here on the screen. I found a card on trading card database. So embarrassingly, I don't have a card of him, and I'm going to work on that. But he had 27 interceptions and played in three Pro Bowls he played for the Bills, Vikings, and then practice squad for the Seahawks last year. So my three favorite teams, he was on them. So I really like Antoine Winfield for that. Now I'm going to stop sharing and show you his son, Antoine Winfield Jr., and a very sparkly card. This is a Panini Playbook card from 2021. So he's on the Bucks. He's been on the Bucks for let's see, since 2020. He's played in two Pro Bowls already, and is a really solid player for them. Helped them win a Super Bowl. Go ahead, Kelly.
That's what I was going to interject with. Doesn't he have a Super Bowl ring? And you just mentioned that, so.
Yeah, yeah. So he got his dad a one up on that one, but so far not quite the career. But he could catch him easy if he keeps at that pace. So pretty cool. That's all I had as far as cards to share. But let's talk a little bit more about legacy and what characteristics you have or plan to or are proud of that you've passed down to your sons. And I'm going to throw it to you, Kelly, on that one.
Um, legacy, to be determined. But
Yeah,
I would say, I try to instill in my own son certain attributes like having integrity and being morally right. Having a great work ethic, discipline, effort, accountability. Those are things that I feel are very important in life. If you're in school, if you're in athletics, or in real life, like this is how people judge people. Um, so some might say, "Hey, old Barry here, he might not live up to those same standards," and so Barry's got to answer those questions.
right.
I'm not the one with the mic in front of the news reporters, but you know, again, I think every father wants his son to surpass him in all means, in all ways, like man to man. Like we're competing with each other in life as far as like getting a job or success or defining what you think is important to you. But I think all fathers look at their own sons and say, "Be better than me,
Right.
achieve more than me," And so, like I played football and soccer growing up. My son plays football. He's soccer. He also does wrestling, and so we'll see. The card collecting bug hasn't really like he hasn't caught it yet. He does like Yogi Berra. We watched that movie called It Ain't Over on Netflix a couple of years ago. So he really likes Yogi Berra. Thinks that we should get like the full run of playing days Yogi Berra cards. But as far as hey, sitting down, sorting cards, collecting cards, looking at them, no. However, my daughter, she likes to look at the cards and collect cards and organize them. So, the DNA's spread differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, for both my kids, I want them to, again, have high standards, always go for success, hold themselves accountable, and work hard. Things they can control.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. I was thinking a lot of the same things, Kelly. And both my kids are very different. One
Yeah.
is very analytical and into like strategy board games and into like minutia and stuff. And he's graduating with a degree in anthropology, and he wants to be on a field study thing where he's digging up bones and comparing them and stuff like that, or digging up artifacts and trying to analyze them and being very analytical. My other is very artistic and very free, and they're a tattoo artist. And so like, but both of them have that integrity, that like golden rule, be nice to people. So I'm really proud of them for that, those kind of qualities. But they're both very different people, but they have a really good relationship too, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about what our dad and kind of what I've passed down. Our dad was very into the details. Like he could tell you the difference between a 1952 Buick and a 1953 Buick, and like for cars and for planes he knew all these little tiny details and like he
Yeah.
was like a little encyclopedia. And we were going through his stuff when he passed away and he'd made these little notebooks of like different cars and him and his brother would share them. And so I kind of related that to me and Royce. Like, his was cars and planes and ours was football, baseball, basketball cards.
Yeah.
And, of us like, getting into the minutia about it and everything. And just enjoying trivia, enjoying those little things. I don't know what it is about our genes, but that's something our dad passed down to us, and I feel like my kids have that too.
I would add work ethic to that, which I would say
Yeah.
is something that I was able to pass on to my kids who all have great work ethics. So, um, and the cool thing is, I think our dad had maybe a little less of the nurturing side. Our mom had that, but I was able to pass down that I think all of my kids are pretty nurturing. And I would say for sure, my dad was able to converse well with anybody from anywhere walk of life. And I definitely pass that on to my son Bill. He can talk freely to anybody, whether he just meets them on the street or they're, you know, CEO. So that ability to be yourself anywhere, he's got that. And my son Adam got the nurturing aspect. Such a sweet guy, like super caring, considerate. And those kind of things are qualities that I am super proud of. And looks like we're getting to be running out of time here in a couple minutes, but I'll wrap it up. But I think overall, it's not necessarily about achievements. It's about value of characteristics to me. So those are the things that I hope my kids have, and I know my daughter is a great, just like she's got three kids, so I've got three grandkids on that side of things, and she's just a super great mom who is taking them to every single baseball, basketball, lacrosse game that they have. So it's pretty cool. So
Can I interject real quick and
yeah,
ask a question as time's kind of running down?
yep.
Do you think, going back to the cards, do you think that there are many collectors that collect like father son or brothers or grandfather grandson or kind of do you think there are many collectors that have those kind of collections and they go after those types of cards?
I don't know. Yeah, our viewers might have to chime in on that. But
Yeah.
I think it's cool when I get them, but I don't
Yeah.
like put them together or anything.
Yeah, same here. I love when I do have collections like those Marvin Harrison ones, or I didn't have, yeah, Marvin Harrison and Marvin Harrison Jr. It's a cool, almost like a novelty, and you appreciate it, especially when they both have great careers, it's kind of cool, but I don't seek those out per se.
Yeah,
But
Right. I mean, there's a long list. I mean, we just
oh
hit
yeah.
the tip of the
yeah, for
iceberg with
sure.
our nine, three
Yeah.
each. And I'm sure lots of viewers are gonna be like, "Hey, you forgot about so and so. What about such and such?" You're
Yeah.
right. But again, I think that's kind of a niche kind of collecting. But I'm
Yeah.
curious to know like how many folks are really going after that, trying to pair, or like you said, you got three or four siblings or generations of athletes and players on cards that
Yeah.
people try to collect.
Yeah, tell us in the comments, who did we forget? Who is on your list of people that you collect as father and son or father and grandson? That's kind of cool. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for the time, guys. This was a fun episode. It was sure good to meet you up in Seattle, Kelly. That was really cool. So, we appreciate your day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Love your kids. Boy, you can, man. They're really what you're here for is to be a dad of your kids. If you've got kids, man, just love them as much as you can when you can. Take care, everybody.